Miniature shelf fridge magnets. These have been the most trending gifts this season. So I'm here to explain everything in detail how to make these beautiful fridge magnets from scratch. These will be perfect Raksha Bandhan gifts. So let's go ahead and jump into the video. Hello everyone, my name is Ranjitha. Welcome to my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. So for making these fridge magnets, I'm starting with these MDF bases. These are available in different sizes, shapes and thicknesses. Here I'm taking this 4mm, 2mm MDF base in rectangle shape. So this should be more than enough for your fridge magnet. You can also take it in a circular shape or any other shape you want. You can paint the bases as well, but here I'm going to show you how you can use simple pattern paper to get this base prepared. So we are using a technique called decoupage. Other than that, you will need these foam sheets. These are also called as sunboard sheets. These are easily available in craft stores on Amazon and local shops where they do these flex printing and all that. So this is 3mm thickness. You get this foam board in two different sizes. One is 3mm and 5mm. So here I'm using the 3mm thickness one. So I'm going to cut these into small strips and use it in my project. Now that we know what we need, let's quickly go and prep the base. So here I'm using Mod Podge and I'm using Mod Podge from this company. You can use Mod Podge from any company. Basically, it is a glue cum sealant that is used for decoupage. So this is my pattern paper book. So since I've been a paper crafter from a long time, I've got quite a collection of paper packs. But if you do not have these handy, you can always paint the bases, or you can use gift wrapping paper or any magazine cutouts as well for your background. So I'm quickly selecting one background and I'm going to adhere it onto the MDF base. I like doing this for my fridge magnet backgrounds because this is very quick, easy and very beautiful way, and within no time you get a good outcome. So here I'm adding little Mod Podge onto my MDF base and I'm going to carefully spread it evenly. Make sure that there are no lumps or areas where there is more glue. Make sure that you apply even coat of Mod Podge even on the corners, because if you don't apply your Mod Podge properly, there is a high chance of you having bubbles in your finished project. So I'm taking my time and spreading it evenly. Once I'm happy, then I'm going to carefully place it on the pattern paper. So this pattern paper is does not have any orientation or print on it, so it doesn't matter how I am placing it. But in case the pattern paper that you have selected has a text or a pattern that requires a particular orientation, make sure that you place it accordingly. So I'm carefully giving a firm press all over, so that making sure that there are no air bubbles and the paper has stuck well to the base. Now that my paper has stuck well to the base, I'm going to take an X-Acto knife and I'm carefully cutting off the excess. I'm only cutting the straight edges. I'm not bothered about the corners which are rounded. I'm going to show you how we can make it more precise. So here I'm just cutting off the excess with my X-Acto knife. So this is where my cutting mat and blade comes in handy. I am trying to cut it as close as possible, but I'm making sure that I do not rip off excess paper so that my background gets spoiled. So once I'm done with all the corners, I'm now going to leave this part. I'm going to just roughly chop off the corners because it is not easy to get the exact shape with your blade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some sandpaper. This is the best way to finish off your edges. It is going to be perfectly smooth. So whenever you're using sandpaper, make sure that you use it in a perpendicular motion and do not rub it against the surface. So as you can see here in the video, I'm just rubbing it in perpendicular motion. That way all the excess paper gets ripped off in a very smooth and even way. Now that I am happy with my base, I am going to give another even coat of Mod Podge onto the paper. This seals the paper and makes it water resistant, so in case if there is any dust or anything, you can easily clean off. This is very essential. Don't leave your paper like that. Make sure that you seal, because Mod Podge acts as a sealant as well. So here I am using my Mod Podge and giving it a good coating so that it seals my base properly. Now that our base is ready, we're going to work on the miniatures that we will be filling our shelves with. So here is a small miniature plant, a pen stand, and I'm going to also show you how to make some books. So this is very easy and quick. So I'm just going to show you few ways in which you can fill your shelves with miniatures. So first we are going to make these miniature plants. For that I'm taking these round wooden beads. You can take whatever is accessible to you, and I'm going to use these small branches. So these are taken from this artificial plastic plant that is available everywhere. So I've just cut off few branches from it, and now I am applying a little hot glue and just carefully inserting this branch into the hole. So this is my way of doing it. You can use any other glue also, but for me hot glue seems to work best because it is quick and dries very quickly and is also very strong adhesive. So this is that easy. All you need to do is pick up a good bead and then add in your favorite plants. So that's it. Our miniature plants are ready. Now we will go ahead and make some books. So for the books, I've downloaded some book covers into the required size, arranged them and printed on a photo paper. So when you search in Google for miniature books, these covers are easily available. You can download any book cover and arrange it accordingly. So this is how I've arranged it. I've printed it on a photo paper. You can do it on a normal paper as well. Along with that, I've also taken some quotations and some stock images. Since it is a Raksha Bandhan theme, I've taken my images as well. So whenever you're taking a print, plan your paper such that there is no wastage of paper. So I often end up printing a lot of books at once. That way it saves my paper. Now I'm going to show you how to make these miniature books. So I'm just cutting a few book covers here to demonstrate how I make these miniature books. There are a lot of ways and different artists use different techniques. Some add papers into it, but I thought this is the easiest way I do it and this works out for me. So if you like it, do give it a try as well. So I'm just cutting off all the excess around these miniature book covers. Just like the covers, I've also cut out the other photos and quotes that I wanted to have it in my miniature shelf. So now the foam sheet that I was using, I've cut it into a size that exactly fits the book. So as you can see here, I've taken it in around ½ inch or 3/4 inch, depending on the size of your book. Now I am applying a little glue and adhering the cover onto this foam sheet or sunboard sheet. If possible, I will try to attach an Amazon link where you can buy these foam sheets or sunboard sheets. So these are very versatile and you can use it in very different ways, especially when you're into miniatures. You can make furniture with it, you can make books like I'm showing you, you can make small frames. A lot of things can be made using this foam sheet. So if you're planning to work on miniatures for a while, then I think buying these sheets would be very helpful. So now I'm applying even layer of glue and then I'm carefully sticking this cover onto this foam sheet. So this is how I do. I prefer doing a bunch of books at a time. That way it saves me time. Now I'm just going to cut off the excess. So whenever you're working with foam board, I want to mention it here. Please make sure that your blade is very sharp. so that way you will get very crisp and clean cuts. So this is all I'm doing. I'm just cutting it in between the books, so this saves a lot of time. Instead of cutting each and every book and then adhering it onto the foam sheet, I arrange my book covers in such a way that they are below each other, and this way I can just take one long strip of the foam sheet and make my boards. So very quick, easy and fun way of making miniature books. This works out for me. Here I have used photo paper, but if you want, you can also use sticker sheet or normal paper, and if you want to get this beautiful miniature glossy look, you can also use sellotape on top of that. So here I have taken kids books. You can print books of your favorite genre. So this is how my miniature books turned out. Now for the photos, I am taking some gold cardstock here, and I'm sticking the photos onto the gold cardstock. This step is entirely optional. Like I told you, each artist has a different preference. So I wanted to add a gold frame around these photos since this is a festive frame. This is entirely optional. You can use a black cardstock instead, or you can just use your photos directly. These little things make a lot of difference in the finished product, so I take time and invest on these small little details. So whenever I'm working on a bigger project and small cardstock pieces are left behind, I save them for such small things. So just a small strip of paper. Again, I am doing all the photos at once. I'm just sticking them all on the gold cardstock here, and once I am happy, I'm just trimming off the excess. So this way the photos will have a gold border all around them. Very quick and easy way to give a picture frame like effect. So that's it. My photos are also ready. I'm just trimming them evenly. You can again do this with your scale and knife, but I just did it with a pencil. So now my photos are ready. So for sticking these photos, you have to have a backing. So again, I'm taking this foam sheet and cutting it into very small thin strips, and I will be adding it to the base of the photo as shown in the video. So this is how I prefer sticking my foam sheets onto the magnet shelf. So you can add like a stand, or you can just do it the way I am doing. The main point is you need some base so that the photos stand straight. So now we are done with all the miniatures. I'm going to quickly add my shelf. So for that, I'm taking a 3/4 inch strip of foam sheet, and I'm cutting it at 3 inches. You can gauge the size according to your requirement depending on your base. So if you can add 3 shelves, you can add 3 shelves, or you can add single shelf as well. In the end, I'm going to show you some variations where I've done single shelf magnets as well. So here I'm cutting each strip into 3 inches, and now for adhering these strips onto the base, I'm using this glue. I bought it in a local hardware shop, but this glue is very strong. If you're using something like this, make sure that you keep your kids away, because even a drop of glue will stick your fingers together and it's going to burn your skin. It is very painful. So prefer not working with children when you're using this glue. Alternatively, you can also use Fevikwik. As always, I will share related Amazon links or any other links in the description below. Maybe it can help you in finding the products easily. So here I am carefully putting the glue. Just a drop of glue is going to hold it very strong. So make sure that you don't drop it on your fingers. So I prefer sticking it from the bottom of the shelf. That way it is not visible. This is how my craft mat is very handy for me. So I've placed my fridge magnet on the craft mat, and based on the grid available, I'm just evenly spacing these shelves and I'm sticking them together. So the choice is yours. You can add all the shelves at equal distance, or you can just play around with the arrangement. So I'm carefully making sure that I'm placing. Alternatively, you can use any other glue also, even Fevicol or any craft glue works well, but the only problem is they take a little time to dry, and you have to hold the shelf in place until it dries, and that's difficult. So I prefer using this glue. So our shelves are ready now. All we have to do is just fill our shelves with these miniatures that we are now ready with. This is the fun part. You can just play around with the composition. So here you can see I've just made a cute pen stand. I've taken a bead and I've inserted toothpicks that I've colored, and just cut them in the shape of a pencil, and again used hot glue to fix it. So if you can just look around your house, you can find a lot of things that you can add into your miniature shelves. Maybe pen caps, or bottle caps that can be turned into flower pots as well. So here what I'm doing is I am taking 3 books and I'm stacking them. I'm adding a little glue in between and stacking them so that they can look like a stack of books that I can add it onto my shelf. So this is entirely your way. You can decorate your shelf as you want. So since I'm doing Raksha Bandhan theme here, I'm using photos and quotes related to Raksha Bandhan theme. You can do it according to your theme your client asks for, or you want to do maybe birthdays or anniversaries. So even for sticking these miniatures onto the shelf, I'm using the same glue. It acts very quickly and it is very, very strong. So I prefer using that glue, and it's quite inexpensive as well. Just a drop of glue goes a long way. So whenever I'm working on such projects, I prefer doing them in steps. Say for example, if I'm making a bunch of these fridge magnets, I would make all my books at once. I would make all my flower pots at once, and then I would cut my shelves. And then at the last, I'm going to just quickly assemble them one after the other. That way it's going to be very quick. And whenever I'm free, I have a box full of miniatures where I keep making stuff and hoarding them. So whenever I need something quickly, I can just pull out any miniature and just fill it in the gap that is needed. So these are very, very simple tips that I wanted to share with you as a crafter. If you are already experienced, then I think it's not something new for you. So here I'm adding a small wooden button. So you can just look around the house. Sometimes very small things can work out very beautifully in your miniature shelves. So I'm adding the teddy bear button here. So this is how our miniature shelf is turning out. Lastly, I'm just adding a small star bead here just to fill in that gap there. So this is how our miniature shelf turned out. I really liked how beautifully it is. Perfect for this Rakhi season, isn't it? So if you recreate something similar, don't forget to share it with me. All you have to do is add a few magnets behind so that you can turn it into a fridge magnet. Otherwise, you can place it on an easel and use it as a display as well. I really liked how beautiful and cute this fridge magnet turned out. You can play around with different themes. So here are the close-up images of our finished project. These are the most favorite gift options this season. So I hope you will give this a try too. So here is a fridge magnet that I've made for an anniversary theme. I've made some for Teachers' Day as well. So here I've used a single shelf. So you can play around with the themes. So these went as return favors for birthdays. So they are very, very quick, easy, and you can make them in bulk as well. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for stopping by. I will be back soon with another interesting video. Until then, bye.